The NFL draft is just 30 days away, and some news and rumors around the draft are starting to emerge around the two top quarterbacks. Welcome to Four Verts. My name is Harrison Graham. We're going to dive into Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward here on today's show. Guys, we're trying to get to 9,000 subscribers by the start of April, before the draft for sure. We got to make that happen. So if you want to continue to have us publish daily NFL content, latest news, rumors, mock drafts, free agency coverage, and everything else, go ahead and subscribe. We got a couple of fun shows planned for you guys later in the week, so stay tuned for that as well. We're less than 400 subs away from 9K. Let's make it happen. All right, is Shedeur Sanders going to end up in the Big Apple with the New York Giants? Recent momentum, mock drafts you're seeing out there. There was kind of a brief, the Browns are going to take him, but now it would appear that it has shifted back to Shedeur going 3 to the New York Giants. Here's what Adam Schefter had to say on the Pat McAfee show today. He said there's been a lot of smoke and a lot of connections for Shedeur Sanders to New York. He's been raised to kind of perform with the bright lights. And in the big city, I could just see it happening. So not a hardcore report there, but there has been some other chatter. And then there's an internet rumor going on right now, and our very own Marshall Green, who covers the Giants, kind of caught in the middle of it. He saw that someone reported that Deion Sanders at this event he was at, which I can't remember what it was called, but an event he was at, said that we're hoping for New York. Now, he has clapped back and pushed back against that, saying that that is not the case. As we're filming this, video of this has not dropped, so I'm not sure if he said that or not. But let's be honest. Do you think Deion Sanders would rather have his son Shedeur Sanders end up with the New York Giants or the Cleveland Browns? Now, the Browns probably have a more proven coach in Kevin Stefanski, but Deshaun Watson's there. That seems like not an ideal environment. And New York's got the bright lights, like Schefter said. So, of course, if you're Deion behind closed doors, or if he did say it publicly, we'll see if that video emerges, of course they would want New York over Cleveland. And that brings us to the Browns. Are the Browns passing on Shedeur Sanders to take Abdul, the Penn State edge rusher? Certainly appears that could be the case. And look, I've said this all along. If you don't love a quarterback, you shouldn't take one just because you need one. Like, you can't draft a quarterback if you don't believe in him as a franchise guy. So if the Browns are sitting there at 2 and they're like, I don't know if he has a strong enough arm, or we don't feel like he's got the leadership traits, or whatever the reasons are, then they shouldn't take Shedeur Sanders. They should take Abdul, who's a better overall prospect, even though they desperately need a quarterback. That does just bring me to this, though. Like, what is the plan? Like, again, I don't think you should force it if you don't think he's that guy. Sounds like the reporting is that Cleveland loves Cam Ward, but getting up to Tennessee at 1 is pretty unlikely, so they would likely take Carter at 2, which I'm cool with. I just want to know what the QB plan is. Are you getting a veteran? Does Kirk Cousins free up after the draft and you trade for him? I wouldn't mind that for a late-round draft pick or something like that. It's not a long-term solution, but it's better than what you've had because at the end of the day, if you don't have at least adequate QB play, you just got no shot to win in this league. And I think that's where the question shifts to for Cleveland. It's like, okay, cool. You don't want Shedeur. You're not high on him. Fine, no problem. Take a better player. But who's the quarterback? It can't be Kenny Pickett. Like, that's just not that's not an option. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Who's going to end up drafting Shedeur Sanders? Type NYG for the Giants, CLA for the Cleveland Browns. O for other. If you have another team you want to be specific in the comments, go ahead and let us know who that is. I think at this point it feels pretty likely that his floor is the Giants at 3, but if they land Aaron Rodgers, maybe that changes since they already have Jameis Winston on their roster. Okay, Cam Ward, is he a lock to go number 1? I don't know if this is quite a Caleb Williams situation from last year where we kind of knew the second Justin Fields was traded that this was a done deal, but it feels pretty close, right? I think your Tennessee's actions are telling us what their intentions are. Schefter put this out today, saying that Tennessee will hold an additional private workout with number 1 overall pick Cam Ward. This is after his pro day yesterday. The Titans have become increasingly impressed with Ward, and they are expected to listen to offers for the number 1 overall pick. It would now take an even stronger package to acquire the draft's top selection. So Tennessee is still leaking publicly like, hey, we'll still take calls. I think it's one of those where, like, look, we're taking Cam Ward, but if you offer us 3 firsts, we'll think about it type thing. But it seems like they're pretty set. I mean, again, the actions speak louder than the words, right? They had a private dinner with him before his pro day. The full brass was at the pro day. Callahan, Borgonzi, the scouts, they were all there. They're now already, a day later, it's been announced they're bringing him in for a private workout. And on top of that, again, actions. What have they done in free agency? They've shown no interest in Aaron Rodgers. They did not pursue Sam Darnold. They weren't in on Geno Smith in a potential trade. Will Levis is still on the roster, and they signed Brandon Allen, a career backup / third string quarterback. They don't have a guy on their roster that's a starting caliber player unless you want to trot Levis out there again, but I think it's pretty clear they're not going in that direction. So what does all that tell you? It tells you they're drafting Cam Ward, barring something unforeseen. If he gets into the building and acts like a jackass or something like that, or has a really bad workout. But even then, it's like, I don't even know how much these pro day workouts, I guess the private workouts probably matter a little more since they'll put him through specific throwing drills. But like, what, if he misses 5 throws in a workout on air, are they going to pass on him? I doubt it. I'd be shocked at this point if Cam Ward wasn't the number 1 overall pick to the Tennessee Titans. And then the draft starts at 2. Does Cleveland go BPA and take Abdul or maybe Travis Hunter, or do they reconsider and do they take Shedeur Sanders? I think that's where we're at this point in the draft when it comes to the quarterback position, because I don't see Tennessee not taking Cam Ward. Should they? I think they should. I think he's a good enough prospect in this draft specifically. Like, Cam Ward's hitting the draft at the right time. If he was in last year's draft, he would have been, 4th, 5th quarterback taken. Also just a better draft overall. However, in this draft, which isn't that top-heavy, especially at quarterback, I think he is a worthwhile number 1 overall pick. So what say you? Should the Titans select Cam Ward? Type Y for yes and type N for no. And speaking of quarterbacks, couple of segments we got coming up this week here on the channel. When it comes to quarterbacks, I'm just going to go through all 32 teams and predict who the week 1 starter will be. Obviously, we know, 25 of them. Whatever that number is in terms of clear-cut starting quarterbacks. But we're going to go through all 32 teams, predict who the starters are going to be, and then we'll kick up another mock draft. Maybe we'll do some more trades in this one. So stay tuned for that as we got that coming up later on in the week here on 4 Verts. But draft season is officially here. Pro days are officially upon us. Feels like dominoes are starting to fall in place. Obviously, the big domino left is, what does Aaron Rodgers do? Tom Pelissero did mention yesterday that he thinks he could decide in the next few days. Who the hell knows? Like his documentary is titled, he is a complete enigma. But once that domino falls, I think we'll have even more clarity on the quarterback position.